Love in literature. Love is an obsession, everyone wants it, everyone is looking for it, but few will ever achieve it. True love is hard to find and hard to keep. Many spend their lives looking for that one person who makes their life worth living. Novels were the basis of most libraries for people of any income because it is human nature to empathize, regret, and rejoice with others. Tragic and happy relationship stories have made millions of readers around the world cry or smile. The theme of love and its influence on the fate of both one person and humanity did not cease to interest writers throughout the development of fiction as art. Every love story has its scenario. Jane Austen's most famous novel, Pride and Prejudice, changes the motive of love at first sight. Charles Darcy sees Elizabeth Bennet at a ball and is only moderately impressed at first, while she cannot stand him at all. Only after countless misunderstandings and victory over Pride and Prejudice do they find each other. In his novel, Austen describes a society in the early 19th century, a little world of landlords and the commercial bourgeoisie, with a rational approach to the issue of marriage and love. In the works of Jane Austen, the love of the heroes is always hindered by something, but they find the strength to overcome obstacles and find their happiness. As expected from a romantic comedy, love and marriage are the central themes of Pride and Prejudice. Alquraidhy claims that the novel, in particular, focuses on the different ways that love comes and goes and whether there is room in society for romantic love and marriage. The reader sees love at first sight, Jane and Bingley, love that grows, Elizabeth and Darcy, and an infatuation that has faded, Lydia and Wickham. As the plot progresses, it becomes clear that the novel argues that love based on true compatibility is the ideal. The marriage of sanity is portrayed negatively. Those who only strive for material well-being in marriage will never be completely happy, as Charlotte's example shows. And Lady Catherine's authoritative attempts to get her nephew Darcy to marry her daughter in order to unify the estates are portrayed as outdated and unfair. The author tried to convey to the reader that all human prejudices do not matter when it comes to love. Using the example of the main characters, she shows that if you throw away pride and prejudices, emotions and feelings will prevail, and people can be delighted. According to Chowdhury, Austen points out that the most severe kind of love is the love experienced by a hero with virtue and intelligence for a worthy purpose. Darcy and Elizabeth's union is less joyful in a romantic relationship but establishes a new society that assures Elizabeth of long happiness. Pride and Prejudice show the kind of love that comes with the difficulty of being compatible with the conventions of a decent society. At the same time, Chowdhury asserts that the Darcy-Elizabeth couple corresponds to a successful type of love because it is based on a fundamental understanding of oneself and each other. They are happy together because they are interested in improving their pride and instilling self-esteem. Through couple of these two heroes, Jane Austen shows the harmony of mind and feelings in a relationship. Not every relationship tells true feelings. Francis Scott Fitzgerald's The Great Gatsby was first published in 1925 and is now considered one of the most important American novels of the 20th century. The elegant New York jazz-era society is portrayed masterly and entertainingly, the lavish festivities of the Roaring Twenties and the inner emptiness of those who have achieved everything. Against the background of all this, the romance of two once separated lovers unfolds. As in Jane Austen's novel, the themes of love and class inequality are inextricably linked. James Gatsby descended from the most ordinary people, turned into a multi-millionaire, renamed himself Gatsby, and invented an elegant lineage. He yearns for his ex-lover Daisy, who married the wealthy Tom Buchanan. The work is both a romantic and tragic love story. The protagonist, J. Gatsby, who came to West Egg to meet his former lover, Daisy Buchanan, is the most devoted to his affection. Despite the fact that she eventually betrays her loyal hero, he still loves her and loves his American dream, which Gatsby, in a sense, Gatsby still fulfills. Unfortunately, the protagonist also quickly loses everything as he takes responsibility for the death of Myrtle Wilson to save Daisy, which leads to his tragic death. Chowdhury contends that readers love and sympathize with him after he dies, they make him a real hero. In this sense, one can understand that the love of the protagonist is genuine. True happiness doesn't depend on a show, it is about understanding each other, sacrificing one dear for the sake of another, and respecting your feelings or opinions. Although the heroine is already married in the text, the main character's feelings have not diminished, which proves their unconditional love. On the other hand, the central romance between Daisy and Gatsby, while a true love story, is equally a depiction of Gatsby's obsessive desire to be in the past. As maintained by Bani-Khair, the character's love for Daisy and his closeness and admiration for her seems overly idealized and, therefore, useless and unreal. Daisy's inability to express her love for Gatsby was not because she was afraid of Tom. She never saw Gatsby as the love she wanted until he returned with a new form, with a richer fortune. But she also finds the materialistic side of life in Tom a sparkling shell that she could not find in Gatsby. Love according to the authors of different eras. Unlike the same 19th century, to say nothing of earlier works, the theme of love in the works of modern authors is leaving the foreground, hiding behind social problems. Although this, in turn, can be considered as a similarity in the literature of traditional and modern, since art has always been aimed at discussing the pressing problems of society. As it can be seen, the theme of social status, money, and marriage go hand in hand with the theme of love in the works of both traditional and contemporary authors. The central theme of the works is love, which can radically change the views and behavior of any person. Through the prism of the main characters' stories, the authors show how important it is to choose love over financial well-being. The main characters of both modern and traditional works openly say that a human cannot hide her feelings. Even though he or she is afraid of being misunderstood or abandoned, and even more so, none can give up love because of pride. This and many other essays are available at studycorgi.com.